Hi everyone, it's Augustus and the newest destruction character Jingliu is finally here, and in today's video we'll be going over her essentials, team comps, builds, and much more. If you guys enjoy videos like these, make sure to subscribe, and now let's actually get into the video. To quickly go over what she needs for essential materials, you need 65 Gelid Chitin, which you can get from the Stagnant Shadow Shape of Icicle, Divine Construct Mats, which you can get daily from your daily assignments, 56 71 and 73 of each. You will also need blades from the Blood of Destruction, as well as for the traces, 18, 69, nice, 139 as well, total, for leveling up her traces completely. For weekly bosses, you need 12 Regret of the Infinite Okimia from Ventilia onto her kit, and what you should level up. Her basic attack, just ignore leveling it up, because her skill is her main source of damage, and I'm saying this because every time she uses a skill, she gets a stack of Syzygy. This is meant for talent of when she reaches 2 stacks. When she reaches 2 stack of Syzygy, she enters a spectral transmigration state in which she can only use her skill, and during the state, her ability will not consume skill points, but rather consume a stack of Syzygy and steal some HP from your team and convert it into attack and absolutely destroy enemies. Obviously, you can ulti during this state. I do want to mention that. It's not just her skill. You can use your ultimate there in this. I also want to mention that she gets a crit rate buff, and her action is forwarded by 100%, and when you unlock the bonus ability Frostgrave, during this state, her ultimate damage is increased by 20%, and you get a huge Effectress buff as well. Her ultimate is Flora Femoral Dreamflux, which you typically want to use when she is in her state. Since I mentioned earlier, her bonus ability grants her extra ult damage unless you are able to wave clear and one-shot the remaining enemies. You can just use it when she isn't in the state. It also gives a stack of Syzygy, and finally her technique, which doesn't require her to be on field to work, causes like a blizzard to surround her and impair and freeze enemies, as well as allowing her to regenerate 15 energy and obtain 1 stack of Syzygy with a 100% base chance of freezing enemies for 1 turn. And they will receive additional ice damage equal to 80% of Jingliu's attack at the start of every turn. For Lightcones, let's start off with her signature, which is her best Lightcone by a fair margin, since it increases her crit damage and gives you a bunch of other stats, but I do want to point out that it ignores defense, which has a bit of synergy with her relics, which I will mention when I go in depth about relic sets. Obviously, if you are pulling for a Lightcone, you want her signature, but for us free-to-play players that might not want to spend on the Lightcone banner, the best free-to-play option and second best overall option is on the Fall of an Aeon. On the Fall of an Aeon, which is easily superimposable via her Distort, which gives her overall attack and damage, and the effect on her Lightcone is relatively easy to proc as well. For 4-star Lightcones, her best option would be a Secret Vow, as well as And the Moles Welcome You. They are all relatively good options, and it's really up to you on which one you want to give her. I am currently running under the Blue Scanner for the crit rate buff that she receives due to it, and it is typically easily able to be procced as well. I also want to mention that if you pull for other 5-star Lightcones, they are also usable on her, like Blades, ILs, and Clara's as well are usable. I want to talk about her trace priority, as well as quickly go over her Ascension abilities. A2, her Ascension 2, gives Jingliu a 35% effect, whereas during her Spectral Transmigration state, her Ascension 4 makes Transcendent Flash her normal skill, advance her next action by 10%. At Ascension 6, it gives her a 20% ultimate damage increase during Transmigration state. For the little minor stab bonuses, she gets 10% HP, her speed gets up by 9, and her crit damage goes for a total of 37.3%. For trace priority, you typically want to level up her skill, her talent, and her ultimate first, basically, and you just want to ignore leveling up her basic attack, since she will not be doing this at all, and she will be primarily using her skill to deal damage. For Eidolons, I'm going to quickly cover those that are real significant. Her E1 basically gives 24% crit damage when attacking in the spectral state, and her ultimate and skill deal additional damage based on 100% of Jinglui's attack during her spectral state. Her E2, after using her ultimate, increases the damage of her next enhanced skill by 80%. And finally, her E6 grants her a syzygy stack when entering her state and increases the amount of maximum stacks you can get from 3 to 4, and the spectral state also gives 50% crit damage bonus as well. Let's get right into the relic stats. For the body main stat, you either want crit damage or crit rate as your main stat, depending if you have a low crit rate, then you might want it to be crit rate as the main stat. If you have plenty of crit rate, you obviously want a crit damage body instead. For boots, you're either going to want speed or attack depending on the teams you're running, but speed is preferred for higher turn frequency. For sphere, you're going to be wanting to run an ice damage boost, and for rope, you obviously want to be running an attack percent. For substats, in general, you want to prioritize crit damage and crit rate, as well as speed, and attack percent as well in general. However, I do want to mention that effect res is also not that bad for her, since obviously you want her to be able to attack. Onto the stats, you either want to run 4-piece Hunter of Glacial Frost, or run 4-piece Genius of Brilliant Stars, but you can always run 2 pieces with the Glacial Frost set with either Musketeer. For planner sets, you're going to want to run Rudolin Arena, which gives her a crit rate buff to reach the 70% requirement to increase your skill damage. And other sets for her include the Space Sealing Station and a Nerd Salsodo, but I recommend the Rudolin Arena set overall because it is pretty efficient to farm. Finally, onto her team comps, she's primarily a hyper carrier, just like the other recent destruction characters, so you are going to want to run her in teams as buffers and debuffers, at least one survival support. Let's start off with the buffers, which are Harmony characters, and your 2 best options would have to be Bronya and Tingyun. I don't have Bronya, but I do have Tingyun, and I don't have her exactly leveled because I'm currently building her up, so she'll be here in a stand run. But I do want to mention that Bronya gives huge damage buffs for her, and is able to cleanse allies, and her advance forward allows Jingliu to attack more and keep her state up more. Tingyun also buffs her and is more of a battery for her to keep spamming her ultimate and having her maintain her syzygy, and allows her to maintain her spectral state. For debuffers, we turn to the Path of Nihility. You either want Silverwolf or Pila, are mostly recommended for this scenario. She can reduce ice resistance, reduce defenses, remove buffs from enemies, and is skill point efficient. While Silverwolf can do similar things, she is more single target oriented and can implant weaknesses as well. For survival support, it's literally any abundance or preservation character that can fill this slot, so basically put any of the supports that you have more built and have them in this slot. Either Luocha, you can put Fushuan on there. Lynx is a good free-to-play option, as well as Natasha is also a good free-to-play option. You can also run Japard or Fire Trailblazer as well in this slot. And now I'm going to turn over to the DPS Showcase in the Forgotten Hall.
I taste malice in the air.
I'm with you.
The moon shines on the truth. Unworthy. Blade of moonlight.
This ends here.
Commencing support. Ready for another? Specimen sighted.
Blade
The name
fodder.
of Landa, a will forged in ice, never falters!
All will be revealed in lunar flame.
Commencing research.
Tedious. Blade of moonlight.
Hope you're prepared.
A puny existence! Merciful Medicus!
Enemy data signet markers activated. Time for a good old counterattack. Perfect.
Nowhere to run.
Ready for another?
Secret of the saints!
Is that all? In the name of Len, a will forged in ice never falters!
I think something bit
Stand
me.
down.
To travel far.
You
Enemy
have my
targets
gratitude.
detected. Enemy data secure. Net markers activated. Time for a good old counterattack. Commencing support. Ready for another?
How insignificant
Heal.
mortality means for
Tedious. Blade of moonlight. All will be revealed in lunar flame.
Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video and found it helpful. Don't forget to click that like button and consider subscribing if you want more content like this. Also sorry if I sound a bit different. I'm currently sick and I'm still getting over a cold. But hopefully you guys enjoyed the video, and I will see you guys either in the next stream that I have live on Twitch, which will also be linked in the description below, or in the next video. And hopefully you guys all have an amazing day. Peace.